We are now to call upon the stage the pillar of our institution, our principal, an exceptional leader whose dedication, vision, and commitment to excellence has inspired us to strive for perfection. Her leadership has indeed been a shining light illuminating the path for us to follow. Please welcome Mrs. Promini Chopra ma'am, our mentor and role model, to enlighten us with her words of wisdom.
Vande Mataram to this august gathering. My heartfelt gratitude to our Vice Chairperson Anjali ma'am for being there, to Major General A.K. Chaturvedi for gracing the occasion, and his wife who's there with us, and also to Dr. T.C. Goel and Ma'am Alpana Goel and Ma'am Aruna Goel. Thank you so much. Despite the age, you are there. I also acknowledge the presence of Professor Vinod Solanki ji and the principal of Navsrijan, Asha ma'am. Children, we owe a lot to you today because you are the ones who have brought this day to us and this occasion to us to celebrate. So, but you have to remember that to come to this level, you have made an effort, and I acknowledge your effort. But at the same time, there are many people associated in this effort. So I acknowledge the effort of your parents and their presence over here today. Can we have a huge round of applause for them as well? I am grateful to all my teachers, to the entire staff, which has helped these children and which has mentored the children under the able leadership of the two vice principals, the headmaster, headmistress, and all the other school heads. Well, children, you've had a lot of advice today about physical body, about the qualities that you need to have. You have definitely reached a certain level of excellence, and that is the reason why you are here. And I'm sure if you've reached this level, you must be sincere, and you must be aligned with your work. You must be studying enough. But things do change. And we don't realize when we've lost our way. And at your age, that is more common than at my age. So that's why I need to, despite all the advice that you've got, I need to address. You have grown in age. And now you've also written one of the major exams. So far, your parents must have been telling you this. But now they must be telling you, वो तो बड़ा छोटा सा था, आगे वाला बहुत बड़ा है. In every exam, that's what we parents and teachers tell. So exams, they are a part of your life. And school life is a training for all those exams. But you all must be having your goal, just as Major General A.K. Chaturvedi told the parents that you have to have a discussion, a dialogue with the children about what they wish to do, and we should not be thrusting ourselves on them. Of course, we have certain things in mind. We are worried about them. That's why we suggest. And children, you yourself must be having some goals for yourself. And those goals may be that you want to study, you want to pursue a certain course, you've chosen a certain stream. I assume that you've chosen it after enough deliberation. But some of you may have chosen it just because you feel that somewhere it is going to earn you a name. It might bring you a lot of money. It may give you a great lifestyle. And also, some of you must be thinking that my agenda in life is to be above all. To be the first ranker or second ranker. No harm. You'll obviously say when you are applauding children who've come first or second, is there any harm in thinking like that? There is no harm in thinking about positions and posts. But there is definitely a harm in thinking only about them. It is essential to know that terrestrial life is the only life which gives us the opportunity to progress. There is no other life. We talk of another life when we will leave our body and all that. Whether we'll progress there or not, we don't have any evidence. We have not heard so far. So terrestrial life is said to be the only life to progress. But what is this progress? That is something that we need to define for ourselves. If you look at people who I know that a lot of students appreciate, because when we ask children to find some speeches or to speak about a personality, a lot of our children speak about APJ Abdul Kalam. A lot of children speak about Kalpana Chawla. Why is it that we speak about these people? Were they driven by goals like becoming famous, earning money, having a lavish lifestyle? If you read about them, you'll really know what kind of lifestyles they had and what drove them. These little things, they got them. But they were not the driving force. They were not their goals. Somewhere, whatever they did, that was a sadhana, that was a tapasya. And a kind of sadhana where they were completely absorbed in their work. They immersed themselves in what their work was, in what Anjali ma'am told today, their dharma. They were able to find that dharma. Now you'll say, now, how do I find my dharma? My dharma is to earn marks. My dharma is to get a good position somewhere and get into a good profession. Nothing wrong. But the school also tells you how to find your dharma. And you've got just 2 more years, not even completely 2 years in school. Please start thinking about this deeply. Why is the school doing certain things? You know that 4 times in a day you hear, there is a divine will. How many of you remember this? Okay, so can you repeat it? Okay, thank you for remembering that. Well, you reaffirm my faith in what we are doing. So, there is a divine will that wants to manifest itself in physical life. Our aim is to discover that divine will and to work for its manifestation. How many of you have found that divine will for yourself? And how many of you are working towards its manifestation? Oh, great. All right. So how do you do that? You raise your hand. Can you speak about it a little, child? And I'm so glad that you raised your hand. Your thoughts could be incoherent, but just speak. Speak your mind.
Ma'am, I tried to be true to myself and do my best in every day.
Very good. So that is what Major General Chaturvedi said, be righteous. You cannot find, thank you. You cannot find your dharma till you are righteous. It's not possible to find without that. So if you are truthful, and Dr. T.C. Goel said, take care of your body, and the rule is be simple, eat simple. Don't complicate matters. And be natural. Yeah, natural is simple. To me, natural is simple. So children, as she said, that you try to do, it's basically you make so much effort that you try to find inside you what belongs to you. And that's how gradually you discover the divine's will for you. Now, what is the advantage of having that divine will? Just as you have mentors in school, you have mentors at home, he becomes your mentor. What interferes, what is that which interferes with our tapasya? And what is that which interferes with finding this divine will and actually making all that effort? There is one more thing which the school stresses on, and Mr. Pandey spoke about it. Be in gratitude. And gratitude is possible only when you are humble. And your school stresses on being humble and on paying a lot of gratitude. So the point is that why is this gratitude essential and why should you be humble? Again, I come to one more practice of the school. We keep reiterating offer. How are you going to find the divine will without taking the divine with you? So for that, you have to offer every action to the divine. You must have prayed, and you must have been thankful after you received your result. But before it, each time you do something, take him with you. He is your mentor, and it is like this, that through you I have prepared myself, but whatever is right, make me do just that. That offering is very, very essential. It is being said time and again that in this century, collaboration has to be taught to people. But collaboration cannot be learnt without offering. It cannot be learnt without humility. It cannot be learnt without being grateful. So when we are talking of these things, understand that people talk of these 21st century skills, but if you follow your own culture, you automatically learn collaboration. And you understand why offering has to be there. But what prevents us from offering and what interferes with our tapasya or sadhana is also very essential to know. You may think it is distractions in the form of social media, which a lot of us talk about. Parents also speak about it. Too much usage of digital media. And similarly, too many interferences as far as your friends are concerned. But these are little things. Larger than that is our ego, which perhaps is the biggest interference. And this ego, when you talk of the universe and you say that I know this, and I know that, you've actually woven a universe around yourself and created your own universe without understanding the power and the vastness of the universe. And if children, you want to understand, or if you understand the vastness of universe, you will understand that you are a minuscule component with a very, very limited power. But you have to step away from yourself, just like a mirror knows that it can just view all that is within its scope. It cannot view everything around it. It can just view within a small spectrum. Similarly, you have to understand that when you weave a universe around yourself, keeping yourself in the center, you actually dissociated yourself from yourself, and that is where ego comes into play. But then there is also self-esteem and self-belief, which is very, very essential, as Major General Chaturvedi said. You cannot achieve anything till you have that self-esteem and self-belief. But there is a thin line of distinction between the two. So children, if you wish to achieve something, keep your ego at bay. It is the tightest knot that can entangle you. And this ego is again in the form of our biases, of our beliefs, of our misconceptions, which we tend to prove to no extent. And that is when we block all knowledge. We become like a block into which nothing penetrates. Ma'am spoke about light. But the light cannot penetrate if you do not come out of your persisting beliefs. And if you are not ready to understand that in the universe there are different levels of consciousness, and if you wish to raise your consciousness, you have to understand others as well. So when APJ Abdul Kalam, he is a success, and we remember him even now. His success is accompanied with a change in consciousness. But if you are hovering only around marks and your simple goal of getting a lot of money, there won't be a change in consciousness. Until there is a change in consciousness, progress cannot happen. So for progress, that conscious change in consciousness is very essential. With that, I'll come to the end. I'll rest my words, but before moving down, I wish to show you a simple video to understand the difference between faith, your self-belief, and ego.
देखिए, अहंकार और आत्मविश्वास ये एक ही परिवार के दो सदस्य हैं, लेकिन इन दोनों में कितना अंतर है। आत्मविश्वास कहता है मैं अच्छा हूं, लेकिन अहंकार कहता है सिर्फ मैं ही अच्छा हूं। आत्मविश्वास कहता है मैं हार नहीं सकता, अहंकार कहता है मुझे कोई हरा नहीं सकता। आत्मविश्वास कहता है मैं हर मुकाबले के लिए तैयार हूं, अहंकार कहता है मेरा कोई मुकाबला ही नहीं है। कहते दोनों ही हैं, करके दिखाते भी दोनों हैं। फर्क केवल इतना है कि आत्मविश्वास की गूंज सफलता तक जाती है और अहंकार की गूंज विनाश तक।
Thank you. But please remember all that it is a long ceremony. But please remember all these things. They will come in handy when you are working. Thank you once again.